Hello, y'all. I am back again for another live. And this live is going to be like an amended version of part one. And so y'all, this is the first time this has happened where actually an hour of my live just vanished. So I think it pissed a couple of people off that it clicked the like. So the part one live that I did on October 15th, early in the morning, that was actually an hour and 15 minutes. But my live kept kicking me out of it. So you got to remember, y'all, we use technology and we're also using our technology under YouTube. So sometimes there's system problems. I mean, there will be no form of technology that's perfect. So, however, what I am going to do, because I like to stick to my word, is part two was fine. Okay. I don't, as I edited part two, I don't see much of a problem with that. But I am going to try to, in the best of my ability, what would you call it? What would be the correct word for this? Not fix, amend, or repair part one. So it's about a lady that was originally on paternity court like 13 years ago, and I explained my gift in part one where I can feel death. I've had past experiences when I've been able to prophesy a past death, current death, or future death. So that's the blunt of my gift. My gift is not a gift where I feel life. I don't feel, I can't feel if someone's pregnant, or if there's going to be a wedding coming up. In that case, thus far, I have not been gifted in the gift of prophecy in that way. So, however, I'm going to be using my gift more and more so that it will help y'all when y'all feeling funny vibes, when you hear something, or you're kind of getting some cognitive dissonance. So I'm going to start with my reaction on the paternity court video. And this reaction to this paternity court, what this lady indulged in through this gentleman named Mr. Seymour actually led her to now where a tragedy happened. And you would have to go to part two to see the tragedy. I'm going to create a playlist called The Wrong Worship. So, what I'll do is I'll put that short version of part one that got deleted, and then I'll put this part one that I'm amending in part two. So, the playlist will be called The Wrong Worship. And remember, when the live ends, give me like 5 to 15 minutes to get all of that in the description box below. I'm sorry. So remember, when I do these lives, I always say that it's like a radio show. So when you come into the live, the blessing is at the end of the live, you get to see the videos that I did the reaction on in the description box. But I will have to like redo, or kind of like, because an hour of my live went away. It just disappeared. And that was a very important part of the live, so you can understand. So here we go, y'all. Please like, share, and subscribe. Okay. And then you can, I respond to comments in the chat. So remember, this lady, Miss Romelis, she was originally on paternity court, y'all, 13 years ago. Now, as I stated in the live that actually disappeared or vanished, paternity court videos, the video was uploaded 3 years ago, but the original filming of Miss Romelis being on paternity court was actually 13 years ago, approximately 13 to 15 years ago. Okay. So that little boy that was on that paternity court, Miss Romelis' son, um, it ended up in tragedy. However, we're going to go back to the paternity court and we're going to look into why that murder really happened. And it will make you wonder why these other black women, the ones that's murdering their kids, what's the foundation of why they're doing it? And what are they getting into that makes them end up on such a tragic road where they feel like they need to do something real horrible to their children or any other family members. So, okay, listen. So I'm going to do the reaction, y'all, okay? And then I'm only going to need to do part of the reaction because when I finish with this part, I'm going to direct you to part 2, and I'm going to create the playlist called The Wrong Worship. And remember, you got to give me like 5 to 15 minutes to get it in the description box below when the video comes to an end. This video comes to an end. Okay, so listen here, y'all. Fair use, y'all.
Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor. This is a case of Romelis versus Seymour Covington.
Thank you, Jerome.
You're welcome.
Good day, everyone. Ms. Romelis, you are here today to test 2 men to determine the paternity of your son. You say that you were dating Mr. Seymour for the past 4 years, but then you cheated with another man. Mr. Seymour, you are one of the 2 possible fathers being tested for paternity today.
Yes, Sean.
You say you...
I want you to remember his name, Mr. Seymour. Okay, his name is Dwayne Seymour. And remember his name. It's going to be very important because he's going to be a very important figure and character in this situation. So you will understand why 13 to 15 years later, Miss Romelis, the mother of this little boy, is in such a horrific situation that she put herself and her family in. Okay, so listen. So don't forget his name. I'll be bringing his name up again. His name is Mr. Seymour. Okay, thank you so much for the likes.
You don't believe Ms. Romelis' son is yours because in the very same week she conceived the baby, she had sexual relations with both you and another man.
Yes, Sean.
It was not in that.
The other possible father, Mr. Covington, is waiting outside of the courtroom, and we will meet him in a moment. So, Ms. Romelis.
Yes, Your Honor.
So there's another possible father, okay? And so I want to clarify this. The other possible father, which is Mr. Covington, he is not the one that created this situation. So there's 2 possible fathers, Mr. Dwayne Seymour and Mr. Jeremy Covington. So Mr. Jeremy Covington in no way had anything to do spiritually, emotionally. He didn't premeditate anything. He is a man that I would perceive as someone that's filled with the Holy Spirit. So in no way did Mr. Covington do anything. So I want you to focus on when I talk about Mr. Seymour, because Mr. Seymour is the reason this situation ended up being so dangerous because of what he introduced her to, okay? Which is Miss Romelis. She's the baby mama. It's 2 men. Is she trying to figure out which one the daddy? Is it Mr. Covington or is it Mr. Seymour? Okay. So I'm going to have you more zoned in on Mr. Seymour. Okay. Fair use, y'all.
So, Ms. Romelis.
Yes, Your Honor.
How did your relationship with Mr. Seymour get to this point?
At first, everything was going really well. I was going to school, going to work, and he was like my financial and like spiritual guidance I needed in life. And
he was like, so Miss Romelis is stating that Mr. Seymour was like her financial and spiritual guidance. Okay. Now, I'm going to be using my gift a lot here, y'all. So Mr. Seymour is not a pastor. He's not proclaimed to be a priest. He's not filled with the Holy Spirit. And he's not an imam. So he gave her financial and spiritual guidance that she needed. She thought she needed it. But it's going to end up in a horrific tragedy. So what he did, Mr. Seymour introduced Miss Romelis to satanic worship, witchcraft, and the occult. Okay, even if they are not formally going to a place of worship where whatever he was involved in, which is demonic worship of some sort, whether it be voodoo, witchcraft, worshiping of Satan. Okay, this is what Mr. Seymour introduced her to. Now, I stated in that live that got deleted that I don't know if he stayed involved with the satanic worship, because at the time of the horrific tragedy this year, y'all, just within the past 2 weeks, Mr. Seymour was not in the house with her anymore. This man that's introducing her to Satan worship is currently living in the house, which is Dwayne Seymour. Okay, so, and like I said, when this video ends, I'm going to be putting this in the description box. So I'm going to play it again so you understand what people saying. Because see, sometimes when you empathic, even a narcissist might feel funny. So, you know, sometimes that feeling in your gut, you don't know what it is. You get cognitive dissonance. You're listening to this, what she's saying, and it's kind of like weird to you, because you know, if you're somebody that love a heavenly Lord and you believe in Jesus Christ and as being the Son of God and all of that, she's wording it kind of really vague and weird for somebody that worships the Lord in heaven, or somebody that really believes in a heaven or hell, or a more righteous afterlife. So I'm going to play it again so you really, really listen to what she's saying. He gave her the guidance in financial and spiritual guidance. Now, I want to share this with you. Financial guidance ain't got nothing to do with spirituality unless you worship the devil. When I got saved and baptized, I was not. I'm getting ready to get baptized day so I could get some financial guidance. So whenever you hear someone connect financial guidance mixed in with spiritual guidance, and she's getting it from a man source, which is Mr. Seymour, that means they're entering the occult. Okay? I think I went over this in part 2. You know, when I was being raised, my grandmother was basically a borderline atheist. My grandmother was an Eastern Star. So I have a lot of experience with understanding and being around people that really do not worship the Lord in heaven, the one we worship, the one Most High. So just like you could go to church, or you could go to the masjid or the monastery, and you can worship, or even a Buddhist temple or whatever, and you could be worshiping an afterlife or believing in an afterlife. I mean, not worshiping it. You want to understand what these things mean when people talk like this. Also, some people will just always say God, and you got to question, what God are they talking about? So be leery of people that only mention God, but they're not saying what God, because your God may not be their God. Okay, so you want to keep that in mind, that this man, Mr. Seymour, I cannot prophesy if he stayed in it. This man might have been in a tragic accident and he's no longer alive. Because yes, that's one of the consequences of being around or entering into any form of satanic worship. You should not even be in the home of anyone that's in the voodoo. Okay? Especially if you're on drugs and you got a mental problem and stuff like that. So being in environments or allowing people to teach you or bring you into the satanic occult is not good. So I'm going to replay it again so you can listen to what she said. She needed, and this is what he provided. He provided financial and spiritual guidance, and they don't tie hand in hand. I ain't never seen nobody take their shahada and become a Muslim talking about finances. It's not a subject that's brought up. Now, once you're saved and baptized, or you take your shahada and you become a Muslim, or you become a Catholic, whatever your vows are that you take, when you stand up there and take the vows, is there a mention of money? No, there's only a mention of financial and spiritual connection when someone is selling their soul to the devil. And you don't have to be in Hollywood to do that. Yes, she's not a Hollywood movie star, but other people do it too. It's almost a form of doing it when you join these fraternities. See, a lot of people, they're so naive. When they join these college fraternities, they don't look at, wow, before I joined this fraternity, I had a lot of good luck. Now, since I joined this fraternity, I'm cracked out and homeless. People don't connect their life after they join up or sign up for this stuff. Very, very dangerous what she did. Allowing Mr. Seymour to bring her into this garbage life. So I'm going to play it again. Listen very carefully.
Of the two possible fathers being tested for paternity today.
Yes, Sean.
You say you don't believe Ms. Romelis' son is yours because in the very same week she conceived the baby, she had sexual relations with both you and another man.
Yes, Sean.
It was none of that.
The other
And he's a devil worshiper and he's not claiming the baby. Because the devil done told him the baby ain't his. And it ain't. The devil ain't lying to him. The devil gonna tell him the truth because he worshiped the devil. So at least he gonna tell him the truth for right now. But the devil's not gonna tell him about this horrific outcome that's gonna happen coming into 2025. So yeah, the devil told his behind that her little boy, Acario, is not his. And the devil didn't lie to him. The child is not his. And the child is not the child of the man that has the Holy Spirit, which is Mr. Covington. Mr. Jeremy Covington is not going to be his child neither. But listen to how she worded this so you can know when you hear somebody talk like this, you know it's a red flag and you know what they're into and you can stay clear of them. So listen, y'all.
other possible father, Mr. Covington, is waiting outside of the courtroom, and we will meet him in a moment. So, Ms. Romelis.
Yes, Your Honor.
How did your relationship with Mr. Seymour get to this point?
At first, everything was going really well. I was going to school, going to work,
and it was never going well. Her relationship with him was never going well. She just didn't understand that at the time because it states on here that she was a teenage mom. So she's young, y'all. On this particular video, she's not wearing these eyelashes. She looks more modest. She's a very pretty chocolate or dark complected young lady. But going into this year, these particular eyelashes, the ones where they're like really long and they kind of come out longer at the end of the eye, I'm noticing a connection with Black women and murders and horrific crimes. They all got on these same kind of eyelashes. When I really looked into the foundation of eyelashes, I eventually learned that eyelashes, long eyelashes, were originally worn by prostitutes, so that when men did their thing, when the woman was down there in the private parts of the man, you know, the stuff didn't drop in her face. So eyelashes in general, everything and all the reasons that ladies wore big long eyelashes, the artificial eyelashes, is not of righteousness. I don't wear them. When I worked in the beauty field, I was a consultant for beauty supply needs and hair and stuff like that. And I tried to wear a pair of eyelashes and they weren't even that long. I had them professionally put on, worn for a couple of days, but I did not like how I felt like I didn't have my full vision. I already got eyelashes. I don't need that on me, okay? I'd rather not have any eyelashes and be able to see. So being able to have my vision is more important to me than wearing that stuff on my eyes. But on this paternity court show, she didn't have the eyelashes on. but she is entering the satanic occult. So I don't know for sure. I can't know this for sure. I'm just connecting the dots here, but I don't know this part for sure. I don't know if some black women, when they enter the occult, there's a certain particular eyelash that they wear when they're doing their rituals and stuff. I cannot prove that. I'm just noticing it's this certain type of eyelashes that they're wearing after they enter the occult. She's not wearing them on here, but she is going to be wearing them when she does this horrific thing that she does right here in 2025, right in Texas. Okay, so fair use, y'all.
Everything was going really well. I was going to school, going to work, and he was like my financial and like spiritual guidance I needed in life.
He's like her financial and spiritual guidance. Now, if she would have left the spiritual part off of it, it wouldn't have been a telltale sign necessarily that he brought her into the occult. But because she added the spiritual word, because finances and spirituality really don't go hand in hand. They are totally separate. Financial stability has to do with how you get off your ass and go get what you need to go get. You can believe, Ringo TV says this all the time, you can believe that your financial stuff comes from the Lord in heaven. But Ringo TV, his perspective is it's coming from you. But see, I think deeper than that. My finances don't just fully come from me because the Lord has to give me the ability to use my legs to get up and go get it. So see, for me, I'm still going to contribute anything I get financial to the Lord. But Ringo TV says what you get as far as your money got to do with you getting off your behind. Okay? And he's a go-getter. He's not a man that's dependent on anybody. He's a husband. He has 4 daughters and a wife that he provides for. None of them have to work as of right now. So I think it's some of both. But I will say this. I'll kind of go with the Ringo theory for right now, just to say that financial guidance and spiritual guidance, they're totally separate. That's why you have accounting classes, budgeting classes. That's why you have stuff like that, okay? They're separate and have very little to do with each other. So whenever you hear somebody mixing financial guidance along with spiritual guidance, that's a problem. That means that they're trying or attempting to sell their soul. They're getting into witchcraft, some form of witchcraft, voodoo, or Satanism, or in the satanic occult to help them improve their finances. And her finances did improve. It actually works when you do it. However, there's a consequence to it. And the consequence is you're going to lose your freaking mind. So yes, you're going to get the nice house, you're going to get the material things and stuff like that. Mr. Seymour, ultimately, coming into 2025, now we know the financial things that he's teaching her. He taught her how to find some people social security cards and get their names and take their identity. And the police and detectives have all kind of warrants. I don't know if they made it a federal case. I'm not sure. But I know as of now, it's at least a state case. So they got all the warrants they need to go into her house as of this year to get every device, tablet, computer, going through all her things. They have full warrants to go through and compensate anything and everything out of that house there in Texas. So hopefully you understand what somebody means when they say financial and spiritual guidance. So when anybody connects the two, understand that they are not entering into Christianity, they are not entering into Islam, and they're not entering into being a Catholic or Buddhist or Jehovah's Witness or a non-denominational form of Christianity. They're not becoming an Israelite. Okay, they're not entering into any basic religion. Okay, they are entering into the occult. They're deciding that they're going to worship Satan because they want financial security, and they want to be greedy. Okay? Because ultimately that's what she ended up becoming, was greedy. So understand what someone means when they say that. My prophetic gift has kicked in for this situation, and that I'm 99.9% accurate. I'm like DNA, y'all. So I'm 99.9% accurate on these things, okay? So just understand that I'm a great guide, because the Lord uses me to help you. So beware of these people. And like I said, the part that I can't know, because I am not the Lord is going to only give me some of the information. Okay? Because I'm not the Lord, I don't know the outcome of Mr. Seymour. But I don't think that he's going to have the best of luck bringing Miss Romelis into worshiping Satan for financial means and bringing her into the satanic worship. And it is spiritual. It is spiritual when you decide to start worshiping Satan. It's just not a good spirituality to get into. But her worshiping Satan, she got a way bigger, nicer house. She got a lot of stuff that it's going to take me about 25 more years to get. It does work. I'm not going to do it though, because I don't want the stuff. Because I'm not willing to trade in my mind and my family for some material crap. It's not worth it, because to get all these material things, you gotta trade in your mind and your soul to get it. You selling your soul. And Mr. Seymour, Mr. Dwayne Seymour, is teaching her how to do it. Okay, fair use, y'all.
In life, and it was just from him cheating to me hearing rumors. I heard from someone that he was at the script club having
you can hear what you want here.
He was having sex
You can hear what you want here. That'll make it true.
And he's telling me that, he's not doing this, he's not doing that one.
And she's so concerned about who he's sleeping with, right? Her priorities are all wrong. She's so concerned about who he's sleeping with instead of being concerned about the fact that he's introducing her to worshiping Satan through guiding her, giving her financial and spiritual guidance. Okay? And he's not a priest. He's not an imam. He's not a pastor. He's not a priest in the Holy Spirit realm neither. You know, you don't have to be a pastor or a priest or to be in ministry. You don't really need a piece of paper. If the Lord has anointed you to do it, you will know if you are a priest or pastor or even an imam. Okay. So the Lord will let you know, but she's really, you're going to hear, and she's going to show, I apologize for that. You're going to hear, and she's going to continuously show how concerned she is about this satanic worshiper cheating. It's so sad, y'all.
And that'll make it true. And he's telling me that, he's not doing this, he's not doing that when I'm being the one I'm not doing you wrong or anything. I am there for you when you need me, but he was cheating, doing a whole bunch of things. Then he had got another job.
Now you didn't witness this, you were told this.
I did not witness it, but I have a friend, and she was like, "Oh girl, your man just went behind some girl last night."
Okay, so you
have to pay her.
Hold on 1 second now. Let me get this. You didn't catch him in the act. You were just told this. And did you confront him, or you did what?
When I confronted him about it, he was like, "Oh man, I didn't do that, you know."
And what she should be confronting him about, and what I would be confronting him about, is the fact that he's bringing me into Satanism. That's what I would be confronting him about. I would care very little that he's cheating, because I wouldn't be sleeping with his ass. Once he attempted to introduce me into the worship of Satan so that I can get that financial and spiritual life, as she says, or that financial and spiritual guidance, I wouldn't have gave a flying fuck how this Negro is gonna cheat on me. I wouldn't have cared, and I wouldn't have his ass in my house. But as of right now, he lives with her. He was. This video was 13 years ago, even though when I put it in the description, it's gonna say 3 years ago. The original video was filmed when Akaria was a baby 13 years ago. Akaria was a baby when this was filmed. But remember, something can be filmed and uploaded years later. I could have filmed being at the beach in 2005 and paternity court uploaded in 2008. Okay, so just keep that in mind when you're watching all paternity court videos, that some of them are re-uploads. Okay, so this was uploaded 3 years ago, but it was 13 years ago when Akaria, her beautiful, handsome son, and I have a connection there because of how things are going to ultimately go down. Okay, so listen, y'all.
So he denied.
Yes, Sean.
Now,
Yes, Sean.
That's just
but you
nice.
obviously didn't believe his denial.
Yes, Sean.
So then you do what?
I tell him, like, okay, so you do you, I'm gonna do me, and we took a break at that.
All right.
But
So
you won't tell my daddy, though.
this ended your relationship. You took a break.
Partially, it ended our relationship, Your Honor. I was seeing him at times. We were seeing each other. He was saying, "Oh, I miss you. I want to get back together." I was like, you still doing you? Because I've been hurting other incidents.
All right, but were you seeing anybody else during this time?
Yes, I was.
All right, so let's get to the crux of why we're here, because that's really when the...
And she admits to seeing someone else, which one of the men that she admits to seeing is the man that I would feel like is filled with the Holy Spirit. That would be Mr. Covington, Mr. Jeremy Covington. Now, I'm telling you ahead of time that neither one of these men is Akaria's father. Okay, they're not his daddy. So the Mr. Covington is blessed not to be in this situation and not to be the father because of how it's going to go down this year. And the child is being blessed for the devil worshiper that's bringing his Akaria's mother, Miss Romelis, into the occult. The baby's being blessed, which is Akaria, because he doesn't have a father that's a devil worshiper. So for your dad not to be a devil worshiper, that's a blessing. However, it's a blessing for Mr. Covington being filled with the Holy Spirit not to be the real father or the biological father. Okay. I hope that makes sense. Please like, share, and subscribe, y'all.
That's really when the story began to unfold. Am I correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So tell me what happened.
And if my tone sounds a little pissed off, y'all, I am. I'm a little annoyed that Mr. Seymour talked her into joining the cult. I'm not happy with the situation at all. So my tone, if I display a little feistiness, I'm not happy about this because I'm really feeling empathy for what happened to Akaria because of Mr. Seymour choosing Miss Romelis as a target. He targeted her and she was silly enough to fall for it. So ultimately she ended up losing her mind. So I'm annoyed by that because I get to see Akaria when he gets about 13 or 15 years old. Into 2025, I get to see him on videos and the handsome photos of him and how good of a person he is. His smile just lights up the world, y'all. Such a beautiful chocolate, dark-skinned, beautiful young man and young teenager. He's not a man. Let's not call him a teenager. Okay, Akaria, he didn't make it to manhood. Okay, because of the situation, and you'll have to go to part 2 and learn what happened there. But I'm going to continue to do this reaction. But I'm very annoyed, and I don't like it when people are tricked into joining the occult because I know firsthand the harm that it brings to children. When my grandmother became an Eastern Star, I was harmed due to her beliefs and stuff like that. It affects the family when your family members and people who are raising you are getting into these rituals. They start losing their health. They start losing their mind. They start acting like something is really wrong with them, y'all. The trade-off, they get the financial gain, but the trade-off is they lose their mind. That's the consequence. And I'm just annoyed that a mother And this gentleman, Mr. Seymour, would target Miss Romelis and just target this entire family and bring her into this. Okay. And he's bringing her into the satanic worship. And Akaria is a very young baby at this time. Very, very young. Fair use, y'all.
What happened? After we were on our break, I decided to see other people. I cheated on him basically out of spite. I was like, okay, he's doing him, so I'm gonna do me. And I had a mutual friend I'd been talking to for like 3 months, which is Jeremy, of course. And we were like,
Mr. Covington, who will appear in court in a moment.
yes, Sean.
All right.
And me and him were like good friends or whatever, and it was just basically chilling, and it eventually led on to having sex.
So in other words, you were having sex with my mom ring on your finger.
And then later on, he wants to tell me that he was never cheating. After I've done what I've done, and I felt bad after what I've done, because me and him had sex like 2.5 weeks before that occurred until I heard something else, so it just made me do it out of spite.
Then what happens, Mr. Seymour?
I proposed to her with my mom's ring.
Now, notice she says that she did it out of spite, right? So that shows her nature. She has a vindictive, retaliation, vindictive, revengeful type of personality. So her being someone that says she does something out of spite, she does not need to join Satanism. So that's a part of her personality. And what they should do, considering what she ended up doing this year, 2025, the tragedy that she did, you got to go to part 2 to see that, y'all. They should consider that and use this as evidence. So this paternity court video should be used as evidence of her stating that she does stuff out of spite. Now, with her having that personality and that being one of her personalities is that she's spiteful and revengeful. She retaliates and she's vindictive. That's what you are when you do things out of spite. You're very vindictive. You're extremely vindictive. And when you do stuff out of spite, somebody that's spiteful is not using logic and not understanding how far to go. So her being that type of personality and that being one of her personalities, the last thing she needed to do was to join the occult and allow Mr. Seymour to teach her guidance on financial and spiritual guidance, teaching her satanic occult. Okay. And you can have your own opinion of what's happening, but I'm telling you what's happened. Okay. I'm 99.9% accurate in these things, and I will be utilizing this gift much more to help assist you to understand what's really happening. Because they ain't going to tell you all this on the news. Now, the detectives that have already went in her house, they already know what she's into. Okay. So they already know what she's into. So, but they're not going to be on videos telling you this. So there's not enough education to prevent this from happening. And it's just best that you know what people are talking about so they're not talking over your head. You could be in company meetings and your boss is stating, well, I just went to a meeting after work yesterday, and they are going to be guiding the company into financial and spiritual guidance. You would know what the hell your manager's saying. You can be like, damn, he worshiped the devil. You keep your mouth closed, though. You don't say anything. You don't risk losing your job. You need that job so that you're financially secure. You don't have to go home with these devil worshipers. Just do your job, get your money, and leave. But her being a spiteful person, that's why she did what she did in 2025. When you're a spiteful person, you can be spiteful towards your own children. And I feel like hopefully they find out about this paternity court and utilize it in the case. Okay? Hopefully they do. So that she doesn't qualify for any insanity plea or any insanity defense that Texas offers. She does stuff out of spite. She just said it in her own words. It don't matter if it's her kids. She's spiteful. She'll do it to her own children. Spiteful is a different kind of word. That means that when you retaliate, I'll retaliate, but I'm not spiteful. See, retaliation means getting some kind of revenge on somebody that's harmed you. So I'm more passive aggressive, not spiteful. Now, a spiteful person, they don't have no boundaries. They don't know how far to go. If I retaliate, I know not to kill your kids and blow up your house. But a spiteful person, oh my God, they're the worst. I cannot stand spiteful people because oftentimes they're getting revenge and retaliating, and they're not even the true victim. When you retaliate, make sure you're the true victim too. So they're not using any logic. They're just using their demonic emotions. So she's spiteful, and this should be used in her case. She said it right here. She's spiteful.
Also, my mom's ring, and she still go out here.
To her with your mother's ring.
Yes, ma'am. She still go out here and betray me.
At some point,
You said it was
you
a promise
found
ring.
out
I
you
didn't know
were
what about
pregnant.
it.
Am I correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So tell me a little bit about that.
I'm ashamed to say it, but I'm going to say it. It was like I had to say, okay, I had sex with DJ and I had sex with Jeremy.
But she's not ashamed of allowing Mr. Seymour to give her financial and spiritual guidance. She has no shame of worshiping the devil. No shame. But she's shameful. She's not shameful of anything. She's also not shameful of what she just did here in 2025. She's not shameful.
Jeremy might be the father. I'm 100% for sure Jeremy's the father. But then again, I had sex with DJ.
And Jeremy is not the father. That's the man that's filled with the Holy Spirit. Jeremy Covington is not the father. And he's blessed not to be the biological father, because the way he's going to be sitting up here next to the judge, crying, and the emotions he has, Mr. Jeremy Covington is very empathic, a man that's filled with the Holy Spirit. He's been raised by people that love the Lord. These are things I can feel about him, and it's a blessing that he's not the father. Okay.
With DJ. And in my heart, yes, Dwayne.
So listen, I was
Ignore this. This is an advertisement, y'all. It's a new permanent teeth. I'm gonna put this down in the notes about the teeth. I don't know. Maybe y'all need some new teeth, So I'll put this down in the notes. I try to make my description box real fancy, y'all. Always check my description, because you'll be surprised what I put down there, okay? So I have to notate this. But yeah, this is ip.nuviasmiles.com. So it's ip.nuvia, Nuvia, smiles.com. So this is a commercial. So I'll put the website down in the notes.
And in my heart, yes, Dwayne.
Okay.
So, and then I was like, oh my God, coming as a woman, I had to look at it like, hey, you slept with two people and within the same time frame. It might be his, it might not be.
She's still concerned about who he's sleeping with. So just keep in mind, she's the traditional Black woman that's letting a man teach her about worshiping Satan, because that's what he guided her into. Okay, so she's still concerned about the wrong thing, y'all. It just amazes me. And so you got to watch this model, and this model of this particular type of Black woman, so you can see it in other ones, because she ain't the only one being victimized and coerced and coached into this. And Mr. Seymour does not deny that he's giving her financial and spiritual guidance. So what he's doing is he's openly promoting satanic worship. Not at one time does he deny, no, I don't teach her. I'm not giving her no financial and spiritual guidance, Your Honor. Not at any point does Mr. Dwayne Seymour deny it. He's acknowledging the satanic rituals that they're doing. You ain't got to be in Hollywood to be getting into this stuff, y'all.
Within the same time frame. It might be his, it might not be his.
So when you found out you were pregnant, you knew and you said to yourself, as ugly as this truth is, I'm just going to be honest, I don't know whose child this is.
Yes,
to myself.
I told myself I was going to be honest. I told myself I'm going to be honest. Take it up.
She's not an honest woman. And Judge Lauren Lake, you know, she does have boundaries in her courtroom. So these people are interviewed before they get on the channel or get on her, get in her paternity court, her courtroom, right? So Judge Lauren Lake, when during the interview process, they may have asked, this could have happened, y'all. Well, what is the financial and spiritual guidance that Mr. Seymour has given you? And when they proclaim that it's something demonic and satanic, they will be advised that they can't discuss that in the courtroom. So during the pre-courtroom process and the pre-trial, not trial, it's not really a trial, before they're in the courtroom to be judged by Lauren Lake to figure out the outcome, anything that's brought up in the interviews before they get to court, they will be told what they can and can't say. So she's not really gonna, if it comes up in the interview about this spiritual and financial guidance, they will basically tell her, you know, Judge Lauren Lake will not allow that conversation in the courtroom. Now, if they don't bring it up in the interview process before they go to court and they're in her courtroom, Judge Lauren Lake, if it doesn't come up and they just bring it up out of the blue, she can then at that point say that's not allowed here, or maybe just allow it in because it's just brought in and it's making her show interesting. But certain things, participants that come to her courtroom, if certain red flags or black flags are brought up in the interview process, they will be told we cannot discuss satanic worship in this courtroom. Judge Lauren Lake has told us to tell you that that's not allowed. And so they will be told how they can word it. So, okay, if this is an important part of your case, and you truly want to give him credit, you will have to word it this way, that he guided you, Mr. Seymour guided her into financial and spiritual guidance. Because Judge Lauren Lake could have potentially already told her, you can't talk about worshiping the devil up in here, ma'am. So that's how that'll work, okay? I'm not sure if that's happened, but that could have potentially happened. I'm just letting you know how the interviews go before you go into a decision that just a judge is making, okay? Because this is not a jury sentencing. This is not a jury deciding what happens. This is the judge deciding what happens. And the judge in this case is Judge Lauren Lake, okay, on paternity court. And this video will be in the description box, y'all.
Honest, take it as a woman. I slept with both of them, but then again, I'm sure it's Jeremy. Then I was like, okay, but what if it's not Jeremy? Because I was 6 weeks, and they told me June 30th I was 6 weeks. I had sex with Jeremy between April going on to May, and I had sex with DJ once I got out of spring break for school, and that was like April the 4th, and it was like a two and a half week thingy. So I wasn't sure.
So, Mr. Seymour, when she
act like sex ain't nothing. Like, oh, it's just a 2 week thingy. No, it's not just a thingy. This thingy, unfortunately, made it so she don't know who Aquaria's father is. Not judging her for it. She's young. She's a teen mom. It happens to a lot of ladies, okay? I don't judge because that's actually very common. That's why the show is here, y'all. If it ain't no women that don't know which one the daddy, and it's gonna happen to real fine women, y'all. These women gonna be fine. Not just one man want her. There's other people that want her. 5 guys wanted her. So she don't know who the daddy is because she's so pretty and fine. So that's how that goes. Stop thinking it's always something wrong with the lady. Oh, she's a horrible lady. She's a slut. She's a hoe. No, she fine as hell. And everybody wanted her. And she's young, and a lot of women and girls just are not taught about sex. Some of them don't know that if you sleep with more than one, you don't know who the daddy is. You'd be surprised. You may think, oh, they know, but they don't. Some people have sex when they a teenager and they've been told because they're a teenager they can't get pregnant. You don't know what people have been told, okay? Some of them think because they're taking birth control pills. This happened a lot too. For girls and ladies and women that were on birth control pills, they felt like they could be a little bit more promiscuous because they were on the pill. But while they're on birth control pills, they get pregnant. So Planned Parenthood told them, no, you ain't gonna get pregnant. And then they did. Because Planned Parenthood, Margaret Sanger ain't teaching them about the Lord, saying, hey, my pill's not always gonna work if the Lord want that child to come here. So they're not gonna be taught about that. So basically, that's how that works, y'all. So yeah, it's just something that happens a lot. And so try not to be so judgmental of people. I know people personally that didn't know who the child's father was, and they ended up finding out who the child's father is. Sometimes you find out who the father is because the child started looking different. I've never been in a situation because I just always had one possible father for my children. But other ladies have. So just because you ain't been in a situation don't mean you got to talk about people real bad, because everybody be in different situations, okay? So again, please like, share, and subscribe.
I'm pregnant. Did you know that there were two possible fathers?
No, I would let believe that child mine. I ain't found about that before I took the ring. Then when I took my mom's ring back, when I found out that it was another man in the picture.
How did you find out after the engagement and then she found out she was pregnant that there was another possible father
The
in the
same girl
picture?
that said I had sex with a screw behind the dumpster told me that.
I told myself.
Oh, wait a minute.
The
The
same
same person that told you he had sex behind the dumpster told you, Mr.
Your
Seymour,
Honor,
that there was
that's what
another
he's
possible
thinking.
father.
Excuse me, I even got it right here where he signed the birth certificate. So how can I be the father?
Okay,
He
because
signed the
you
birth
weren't
certificate.
there for the
She's so concerned, Miss Romella, she's so concerned about if he had sex at the dumpster or behind the dumpster. She's just so concerned about this man's sexual activity instead of being more concerned about her own sexual activity. See, if sexual activity, she would be more aware of who the father is. But you can tell that she's very, interested in what someone else is thinking or saying, okay? And or what they're doing, not what they're thinking or saying. I apologize. She's more concerned with what someone else is basically doing. And mainly in the area of intimacy or sexual activity. And this is her downfall, because if she was more focused on her own sexual activity and intimate relations and being more zoned in on herself, she would have a better chance of knowing who her child's father is. But she's very interested in what the man is doing, and that's a distraction for her, which is what the devil wants. The devil wants to keep her distracted so she can be misled. I hope that makes sense. Please like, share, and subscribe, y'all.
Okay,
Yeah,
he signed
because
the
you
birth
weren't there
certificate.
for the 9 months. You was in and out. You was in and out.
Wait a minute.
Don't try to
Let me
do
see
it.
that.
Please don't
Please
do it.
pass me
Please
that.
don't do it.
Thank you.
So let me get this straight. You find out you're pregnant.
Yes, Your Honor.
This is in fact the birth certificate, and under father it says Jeremy Covington, not Dwayne Seymour.
So how can you
So
say
wait
I
a minute,
can't
let
go?
me get to this. You find out you're pregnant. Does she tell you flat out, I'm pregnant, you may be the father, but somebody else may be the father?
I was led to believe that I was father.
When you say you were led to believe, what do you mean? He was like, hold on, let him answer.
At the time, she told me that I was the only person she was having sex with, and then her friend come around and tell me that.
Then what do you do?
I asked her about it.
And what did she say?
She denies it at first, but then like farther along in her pregnancy, we get into an argument and she says it again. So I do what any other person would do. I left.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. You told him at the end of the day before the baby was born that it could be his child or someone else's, or did you just tell him this baby is...
Akaria is such a cute baby, y'all. Gosh, he's such a pretty baby. It's gonna be real sad and interesting, and it's very horrific news when you go to part 2 to learn of the outcome of this case going into this year. Remember, this video is 13 years ago, but poor Akaria, he's such a beautiful child. I love his smile, his eyes. He definitely looked like the Lord sent him here. Such a beautiful baby. But his mama is learning how to worship the devil, so that's going to affect his life, okay? Because he's going to have a mama that just lose her mind in 2025 after she's been so-called got guidance from Mr. Seymour ass, so she could get guidance in financial and spiritual guidance, y'all. Peep the game, okay?
It is Jeremy's.
We had an argument, and I had got mad, and I was like, you know what? Well, let me just put it out there that it might be a possibility somebody else is the father. As far as that, he's been there through his pregnancy. He's went to more than 3 doctor visits with me, and I was like, hey, you haven't even made an effort. You know I'm pregnant when I'm craving something. I have to sit here and look crazy because I don't want to drive.
Okay, so the bottom line is, when you got in the argument, you got mad and you did tell him this baby could be Jeremy's.
Yes, Sean.
And then you left.
Yeah.
Now, I want to know exactly what you told Jeremy. Jerome, can you please escort Mr. Covington into the courtroom, please?
Sure.
It's about time I hear.
And as I said, y'all, Mr. Covington is not the problem here. So Mr. Jeremy Covington did not introduce Miss Romelis, which is Akaria's mother, into the satanic occult. Mr. Covington, I'm utilizing my gift here, and he did not, Mr. Covington, Mr. Jeremy Covington had nothing to do with the fact that Miss Romelis decided to start worshiping Satan and to take a risk in entering into that kind of spirituality and lifestyle. Worshiping the devil is spiritual. It is spirituality, but it's the wrong worship. And that's what I'm going to be calling the playlist that I'm going to create, that I'm going to be adding to the description below as well. It's going to be called the wrong worship. Okay. And this video will be in that playlist as well, y'all. The wrong worship. Okay. Fair use, y'all. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.
It's about time I hear from him. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Covington. So we're here trying to figure out this situation regarding Ms. Romelis, Mr. Seymour, and you. Please have a seat. Ms. Romelis stated that it is possible that you or Mr. Seymour could be the father of her child.
Yes, ma'am. But to be honest, I feel like the reason why I'm here is because of her. She's a manipulator. She's a liar.
No, I'm not. I did not manipulate you.
So hold on.
Now, this is Mr. Covington, Mr. Jeremy Covington, saying he's sitting on the seat right beside Judge Lauren Lake, and he's saying that she's a manipulator and a liar, which she is. She also admitted that she's spiteful. And remember, I told you it's a difference between being someone that's vindictive, revengeful, spiteful, and someone that retaliates. I retaliate, but I'm not spiteful. See, a spiteful person is not rational when they do things. A spiteful person gonna just go with emotions, There's not enough passive aggressive nature there for them to have any boundaries and to think before they act. And also, if you look up the word retaliation, it says to basically get revenge against someone that's harmed you. So the word retaliation within itself, that's a word that's more appropriate for the actual victim. Okay, so it could be something as simple as a man threatens me over the phone and I just don't talk to him no more. That's my retaliation. I never speak to this man again until the day he dies. I just cut this man completely off. That's retaliation. You're retaliating against someone that's harmed you. But not speaking to somebody don't get their kids and their family killed and get their house blown up. So she says she's spiteful. Spiteful is the worst. I can't stand spiteful people because they're retaliating and getting revenge for stuff that ain't really important to me. A spiteful person, they have a lot of envy and jealousy in them, and they're oftentimes being spiteful towards people just because they're jealous of them too. I've seen that. I don't like spiteful people. Now, I don't mind being around somebody that retaliates. I don't care about that because I'm not going to be doing nothing to them anyway. It don't bother me because I don't move like that where I'm like trying to provoke people or talking to people crazy. The person got to come at me first. They got to break the boundary and start name calling and doing crazy stuff. Okay, so I'm pretty easygoing just in general. But spiteful people, they're not easygoing. And like I said, when she says she does stuff out of spite or did something out of spite, Texas detectives, they need to use that as evidence that she been like this. This ain't no insanity defense. This lady is spiteful. She admits it on paternity court. She was sober. She don't look like she high on here. She's describing her other personality that ultimately can affect her children and her family and the world. Because what she ultimately did this year affects the world.
I brought Mr. Covington in here because I want to understand his side.
Yeah. See, basically, she feel like I'm a.
And remember, Mr. Covington did not teach her. I'm going to keep protecting him because what I don't like doing is getting it confused. Mr. Jeremy Covington did not teach Miss Romelis how to worship the devil. Only Mr. Seymour did, okay?
Man, I'm working, taking care of my family, my brothers and nephews. So she feel like I'm the guy for her to be this child because he's going to be responsible and he's going to do what he got to do to take care of this child. But I feel like if this his old lady and this his wife, his fiance, why can't he be the man and stepped up to the plate instead of me?
15 minutes. That's all it takes to go from disappointment to domination in the bedroom.
No, oh my God. No, we don't want no domination in the bedroom. That's a commercial, y'all. He an older white man. He look a little sexy, but no, we don't need domination. And they talking about a pill. This pill to kick it in. No, you don't need no pill for nothing, okay? So ignore that. This is a commercial. Okay, so ignore that. Crazy.
Man, and stepped up to the plate instead of me. Yeah, see, baby, she feel like I'm a good man. I'm working.
And Mr. Covington is a good man. I would agree that he is a good man. That's why I'm defending him too. Because he, we just don't want to accuse the wrong people. In my prophetic gift, when you have a prophetic gift and you understand things, he ain't got nothing to do with the satanic worship that Mr. Seymour got Miss Romelis into. He don't even live in the house with them. At the time this video was done 13 years ago, approximately 13 years ago, Mr. Seymour was living in the house with Miss Romelis. Mr. Covington, he's not in the house with these fools. He's not there. So he has nothing to do with it. He don't even believe in what they believe in. Okay. Mr. Covington, Mr. Jeremy Covington, he's more of a man that's filled with the Holy Spirit. You can see it even in the way he walk. the way he walks in the courtroom and stuff like that, his body language, the way he talked, the way he cried. He's not no psychopath. He's not faking it as well. This is actually a good-natured man, and he wanted to be Akaria's father. I'm quite sure if he's still alive, he's ultimately in tears, more tears, after hearing of the outcome of Akaria going into this year, okay? And that will be in part 2, okay? I will put part 2 in the description box below as well, under the fair use videos, okay? So check the description box below. Remember, always give me 5 to 15 minutes to get it there, okay? Thank you.
Working, doing, taking care of my family, my brothers and nephews. So she feel like I'm the guy for her to be this child, because he's going to be responsible and he's going to do what he got to do to take care of this child. But I feel like if this his old lady and this his wife, his fiance, why can't he be the man and stepped up to the plate instead of me?
That term is something else, that old lady term. That's that Southern stuff. If this is old lady, she ain't old. The video talking about she a teenager. So yeah, that's crazy.
Did she tell you you were the father?
No, ma'am.
You're a lie. I told you right then and there when that condom broke, hey boy, you better man up or something, because somebody probably.
And look, he calling her an old lady and she calling him a boy. Southerners, y'all.
Man, stop. 2 months later, you gave me that phone call.
It was like, oh.
2 months later, you gave me a phone call stating that you was pregnant. And what I told you, you had to show me some proof or some type of evidence.
And I showed you the conception day, and you stepped there and accepted it. After a while, you didn't come around for like a month, didn't talk to me. Then after you
we
was
didn't
like,
talk none of that for 2 months later.
Then what does the baby need? What does the baby this? Oh, when is the
And when they're not talking, whether Mr. Covington realizes it or not, that's the Lord placing that protection over him and giving him that instinct and gravitating him away from that situation with her. The Lord doesn't want Mr. Covington really near her kids, or the house like that, unless the Lord's going to use her or use Mr. Covington, I apologize, to protect the kids. But the Lord is going to have him ghosting her, and and the Lord will have Mr. Covington doing this to her, and he's not a narcissist, because the Lord is actively trying to protect him. So, I use this term, an aware empath. So as an aware empath, when I start feeling like I don't want to talk to people, when I start ghosting people, I know the Lord is guiding me away from those people. It's something that they into, that the Lord don't want me interacting with them. And it doesn't matter. It could be a friend, family member. So this is what the Lord is consistently working in Mr. Jeremy Covington's life to protect him, because he probably don't even know when he hears that Mr. Seymour is doing financial and spiritual guidance and bringing Miss Romelis into this. He may not even know that it's satanic. He may not know this. So, I mean, because he's out in the hallway area listening to the case even before he comes into the courtroom. Mr. Covington is the good guy. So, yeah. So listen to this, y'all. Fair use.
Let me go check. Hold on. Let me get this. So did she ever just say, you're the father?
No, ma'am. She came up and was like, I'm pregnant. I said, well, don't you have a boyfriend? That's who you need to be talking to and calling about this situation. Even though I'm not gonna lie, we had sex that time we did. So I kind of feel like I do have the possibility of being in the father, but
I don't feel like I'm
at the same time. This is old lady. I have someone. I have a girlfriend.
Anyway. You stated to this court that she feels like.
And Mr. Covington has a girlfriend, so maybe he ended up marrying her. I don't know, but and the Lord should bless him with a nice lady. Mr. Covington is a nice man.
You're the better father because you step up to the plate and you taking care of this.
Yeah, I've been there since day one. I've been there.
That's what I'm saying. So now
you hear that? Mr. Covington has been there since day one. Not doing financial and spiritual guidance. Now notice, he ain't mentioning the Lord. Mr. Covington is not saying anything about the heavenly Lord. But he ain't the devil worshiper neither. Somebody might look at this and they intuition is just all wrong, and they think that Miss Romelis and Mr. Seymour are the godly people that love the Lord. No, Mr. Covington, he ain't no devil worshiper. So he ain't sitting up on the stand next to Judge Lauren Lake talking about he's guiding her into financial and spiritual guidance. He don't worship the devil. So be leery of that too. When someone is bringing up spirituality too much, it doesn't mean they're believing in a righteous worship. What they're believing in is not based on Jesus Christ being the Son of God, okay? Or Jesus Christ being created by the Creator, which is the one most high in heaven.
You step up to the plate and you
Yeah.
taking care of this.
I've been there since day one. I've been there.
That's what I'm saying. So now you say
That's your child.
this isn't my child. It's more likely that it's
That's your child. That's what you supposed
And
to
he's
do.
saying it's not his child, but his mom, because I had met his mom before we had our one night stand or whatever. She even invited me over to the house and gave me gifts or whatever, you know.
No.
When you had the baby,
I'm the only person at the hospital.
you were at the
I'm
hospital.
the only person.
Were you there?
No.
No. I left for her baby.
But this is fiance and his wife, right? You should be there regardless.
Man,
you know
you
you
the daddy. You
Wait a
gonna
minute.
be there.
Wait a
You're not my
minute.
child.
Hold on.
And Mr. Seymour, Mr. Dwayne Seymour, this devil worshiper, he live in the house with Miss Romelis and telling the true Holy Spirited man, Mr. Covington, telling him he should be there. But see, Mr. Seymour, this devil worshiping asshole, he's in the house with her. He's living in the house with her, but telling another man what they should be doing. Goodness gracious.
Let's get some order. Let's get some order. I want to understand this.
Please don't you because you claim
At
that
the
you cannot get
time
down.
you give birth, are you engaged to Mr. Seymour?
No.
No, he took the ring back.
Who stepped up? You said you
I
were at the
stepped up.
hospital.
Yeah.
You stepped up.
She gave me a phone call, like probably I think
Mr. Seymour took the ring back. Well, let me confirm that. Hold on. Who took the ring back? I think it was Mr. Seymour. Yeah, Mr. Seymour took the ring back, the devil worshiper. Okay, he took the ring back.
you should be there regardless.
Man,
you know
you
you
the daddy. You
Wait a
gonna be
minute.
there.
Wait a
You're not
minute.
my child.
Hold on. Let's get some order. Let's get some order. I want to understand this.
Please don't you because you claim
At
that
the
you cannot get
time
down.
you give birth,
Mhm.
are you engaged to Mr. Seymour?
No.
No, he took the ring back.
Who stepped up? You said you
I
were at the
stepped up.
hospital.
I wish Mr. Seymour could take that financial and spiritual guidance bull crap that he taught her. I wish he could take that demonic satanic worship that he taught her. I wish he could take that back, but he took the ring back. Horrible.
Yeah.
You stepped up.
She gave me a phone call, like probably I think her mom gave me a phone call.
That's why he was
Her mom gave me a phone call stating that, oh, Nana's about to have a baby. Is she coming down here or not? I said, yeah, hell, I'm on the way. I was chilling straight down
I'm
there.
trying to make it seem like we just
And I-
called you as a desperate call because you were the one that was
I didn't say
calling me for weeks. I was supposed to be induced.
Man.
I didn't even have my baby. I had him on the same day that my expected due date was. And I said, hey, Jim, are you going to come down here for the baby shower? He was like, yeah, I'm on. You spent the night with me that night. They gave me the thing in my bag.
I spent 3 days.
Yeah, you spent the
And you
whole
kicked me
day.
out of the hospital too.
See? That's
Yeah,
what
I
father does.
But I'm the father of this child. Why am I
Wait a
kicked out of
minute.
the hospital?
Hold on. You sitting here now arguing at Mr. Covington because he wasn't being a good enough father and he didn't come to the hospital and it wasn't a desperate call and he didn't do this, but you brought Mr. Seymour to court because you said he's the father.
Exactly.
I'm the one with the money.
I'm unsure. So
She brought Mr. Seymour to court because Mr. Seymour teaching her that devil worship stuff. And so she won't, she putting, she think he has power because he teaching her how to do that financial and spiritual guidance, remember? Yeah, so he's teaching her that demonic crap. So
You wasn't sure, so you just buttering both sides of your bread just in case.
Exactly.
You make sure you get attention over here. He might.
yeah, like Judge Lauren Lake say, she buttering both sides of her bread. So all of these people are just supply sources to her. And she's manipulative, she lies, she's disingenuous, but she's also in some sense a victim too. See, manipulators and liars and people that are not genuine, they are actually good targets for abusers because they may be good at manipulating. She may be good at manipulating. Miss Romelis may, right? But she may not be so good at recognizing another manipulator because she always thinks she's in the power position. So, like narcissists, for example, since I'm aware of what a narcissist is, it's not hard to make one of them upset. It's not hard. It's not hard to manipulate a narcissist. It's just, I don't want to do it. I don't have time to do it. It's just not my, it's not one of my emotions to necessarily want to manipulate a narcissist. It's not much I'm getting out of it. But because narcissists are manipulators, it's real easy to manipulate them. It may sound kind of weird. You may think, well, since they're a manipulator, they shouldn't be able to be manipulated. Wrong. The best thing to do is not to be a manipulator. See, because I'm not a manipulator, I'm going to recognize the manipulation because I'm observing. But if I'm too busy being a manipulator, I'm not going to peep the game that the manipulator doing. So it actually does not benefit you to be a manipulator. What benefits you is to be keen and intelligent and smart and love yourself and the Lord and be doing some positive activities. Right here, I got this YouTube hobby. I'm on this YouTube video. I'm too busy to manipulate. I got to worry about making sure I upload videos so that I can continue to be monetized. Even though I don't know where my YouTube check is, I'm still monetized. Okay, I just got to go find it. I learned one thing that I need to qualify. I need to make sure that there's 2 security features or something. Two security things. So I'm kind of getting close. And like I said, I'm just going to get some help. But you have to actually turn in an application. But usually when you're able to upload lives, you are monetized. Part of monetization or being monetized is being able to upload a live. So, yeah, so I just got to figure it out. I'm going to get some help to do it. I just be kind of busy. But what I don't want to do is stop uploading and then my channel is demonetized or not monetized anymore because I stopped uploading. So that's, if you want to be monetized, you got to keep uploading. Okay, you don't want to stop and then try to upload a live. If you're demonetized, you're always able to upload regular videos, but you won't be able to upload live videos. So, you know, I want to be able to upload all videos. So with the status of this channel here now, I'm able to upload regular videos, shorts, and lives. And I'm able to do posts as well. So fair use, y'all.
Might be the father. Oh, no, you might be the father.
Then it's like I grew up without my father, so I want this child to have a father into his life. So it's like I can't do that if he is gonna be a father and I'm gonna be a father. At the end of the day, it's only gonna be one father, and I want to know who the father is.
You've invested a lot of time in this child.
Yes, ma'am.
What have you done?
Clothes, shoes, Pampers. Spend time with him 2-3 weeks.
And of course, this is the man filled with the Holy Spirit, y'all, Mr. Covington, Mr. Jeremy Covington.
That time since he been born.
And you spend time with the baby?
Yeah, he come over my house. She'll let me. That's one thing I can't say. She let me get the child on doing because I work during the weekdays, so the weekend I get him. Sometimes I keep him 2-3 weeks, send him back to her.
Mr. Seymour, are you involved in the child's life as well?
If you missed out,
This is a commercial, y'all, so sorry about that.
In the child's life as well?
Somewhat, because we live together.
Oh, so okay, so you live together. So when the child is with...
And that's the devil worshiper, Mr. Dwayne Seymour. He lived with Miss Romelis.
please.
Ms. Romelis, he's with you.
Yes, ma'am. Like he said, I grew up without a father too, and I feel like it ain't right for any child to grow up without a father.
Bottom line is, Ms. Romelis, you are in...
And just because Mr. Seymour is saying he don't want nobody growing up without a father, that has nothing to do with his spiritual worship, life of worshiping Satan. This will educate you here, because a person can talk and do good things and still be in a cult. They could still be doing voodoo, witchcraft. They could still be heavily into or mildly into satanic worship. Just because somebody is saying they want to be somebody daddy because they didn't have a father in their life does not mean he does not worship Satan. Okay. So please understand that. That's why I'm glad I got the prophetic gift I have. That way I'm anointed to not believe what he just said. What he said is actually true. He does not want the child to not have a father. You know, he could believe he believes that, but it still does not change the fact of how he worships and what he's taught Miss Romelis to do, that ultimately is the true foundation of this criminal activity that happened in Texas this month, okay, 2025.
In a position where neither one of these men knows whether or not they are definitively the child's father. So you work in each angle, like you do this and you do that, and then you do this and you do that, because you just don't understand who the real father is.
But that's not even the point, because
that is the point. Hold on. One thing you're not gonna do, you might be able to out-talk and manipulate them, but you can't do it to me. That is the point. The point is, the reason why you're standing here.
Amen. Judge Lauren Lake told her. Tell her what the point is
because you ran from this one to go to this one, then you ran back from this one back to this one. Now that the baby is born, you're still doing the same thing. It's obvious. You somebody's mother. Thank goodness you walked yourself up in here today so you can get the truth.
Please.
Not just for your sake and their sake, but for his sake. He deserves it. Jerome, I'm ready for the results.
There you go, Judge.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Romelis versus Seymour Covington, when it comes to the paternity of Ocario Covington, Mr. Seymour.
And I'll let that be a surprise to you. I told you they both aren't the father. So that's basically that. So, yeah, so I'll put part 2 down here, or you can just go click on lives and you can watch part 2. But basically, this is the first time, y'all, I've ever had to like redo a live. But I like to stick to my word, and I wanted to give y'all a legitimate part 1, okay? Because my original part 1, an hour of it was deleted, okay? So, or lost or whatever. I don't know what happened, okay? Lives, or my device went out a couple of times. Sometimes on the lives, you're disconnected. So check the description box, because in the description box, remember when the live ends, give me 5 to 10 minutes, and I'm going to be putting in the description box the playlist of the wrong worship, which would be satanic worship. I'm gonna call the playlist the wrong worship. There will be 3 videos in that playlist. I also will be putting some notes on the teeth stuff of the commercial, and I will be putting the fair use video of this paternity court video under the fair use videos. And then yeah, that's it. And please like, share, and subscribe. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this live. I always appreciate you tuning in, and just be aware. I'm gonna be claiming my gift and utilizing it. Hey, hopefully you smart enough to agree with me, because I'm 99.9% accurate. And go watch part 2 to see how the tragedy ended. So be aware of more and more black ladies entering into witchcraft and the satanic occult and satanic worship, and link it to the crimes they're committing later. Make sure you start linking this stuff together, y'all. There also will be a fair use music accredited to my son Daniel. So that will be in the description box as well. He likes to do his beats. And so check that in the description box as well under fair use music accredited to Daniel's channel. Again, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Bye. Before I technically say bye, let me see what the comments were. So, oh, Nathan, Maggie, I remember you as well. And then Devin. So hello to Devin. He leaves 3 dots. I'm not sure what that means, but hello to Devin. And then Nathan, Maggie, I remember you as well. Welcome back to the live. Check out, this will basically be part 3. You're going to see this is the amended part 1. So this will be the amended part 1. Okay. So there's part 1, the amended part 1, and then there's part 2. So thank you so much, Nathan, Maggie, for leaving the comment. I remember you as well. And thank you so much for coming back to one of my lives. Tune in for more here with Advanced Insight channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. I enjoyed this live myself. Remember, it's like a radio show, but at the end, you get the juicy videos, y'all, in the description box below. And make sure when you click in the description box, when it says more, click on more so you can see everything that I wrote in the description box. For many years, I didn't know how to do that, y'all. I was on YouTube for quite a while and didn't even know that there was a description box. So I'm teaching you and sharing this information with you so you'll be getting the full information that you deserve to get from YouTube, the content creators, and all videos. Okay, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.